Hey guys, welcome back. Today is day 23, and we're going to be talking about equations of lines. It is pretty much a review day. We do have a test next class. So last week before break, we talked about equations of lines being in slope-intercept form in the form of y is equal to mx plus b, where our slope was the m and the b is the y-intercept. Okay, so we're going to just review a little bit. If I look at the first example, it says just to graph the following, y equals x minus 3. This equation is already in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to pull out my slope, which is the coefficient right before the x variable, so it's a 1, and our y-intercept is the constant, which is a negative 3. So to graph this, remember the y-intercept is really an ordered pair on the y-axis. I'm going to start at 0, negative 3. Okay, that's going to be my starting point. And my slope, to get the second point, I like to think of my slope, I always make it a fraction, and then I think of it as the rise over the run. So I'm going to rise positive 1 and then go run to the right 1. Okay, and then you can make a few points like that. Or you could have gone down 1, negative 1, and then to the left 1 would work the same way. Okay, once you get a few points, make your line, add your arrows. Okay, but a lot of times your equation is not in slope-intercept form. So you need to go back and solve for y. Okay, get it into that slope-intercept form, and you do it kind of like you're treating it like a literal equation. You're getting y by itself. Now to do that, I'm going to start by moving the term 4x to the other side, and I'm going to do it by subtracting 4x from both sides. Okay, so I end up with negative 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 8. Okay, so we need here to solve for y, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. All right, I am running out of space here, but my final equation would be, we'll put it down here, y is equal to negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2, so we have 2x minus 4. Okay, so now we're in slope-intercept form. We start at we identify our slope, so our slope here is 2, and the y-intercept is negative 4. So I'm going to start at negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and my slope is 2, so I'm going to rise 2 and run 1. Okay, so treat it like the fraction, rise 2, run 1. And I connect my points, I add my arrows, I verify that it is a positive slope, it is, and maybe you check it in Desmos. Okay, the third one, y equals negative 1/2 x. Okay, some of you are getting a little confused with this. Notice it appears there's no y-intercept, but there actually is one, it's 0. Okay, so our slope here is negative 1/2, and our y-intercept is 0, which is actually the origin. Okay, so we start at y-intercept of 0, which is right there, and our slope is negative 1/2. So I'm going to think of this as negative 1 rise and positive 2 run. So I'm going to go down 1 and then to the right 2. Okay, or I could have gone up 1 to the left 2. Would work the same, it would be on the same line. Okay, so there's my line. Okay, again, if you're not sure, check it in Desmos to look at it. Make sure it looks similar. All right, we move now into the review of our special cases. All right, if we look at this, y is equal to 3. Oh, that should make you think of the acronym HOI. Remember HOI bucks? Well, I'm thinking of HOI because the equation starts with y equals, and that's what the y starts with. That means I know it's going to be a horizontal line. Okay, so y equals 3, I just identify 1, 2, 3, the point 3, 0, 3, which is on the y-axis, and I make a horizontal line. So in this special case, you only need 1 point to make the line. Okay, and then you have an infinite number of points on that line. And the same thing works for number 5, only now we have x equals, so this is where we think of VUX. Okay, vertical line, undefined slope, x equals. So we know it's x equals. So x is equal to negative 2, so we just position ourselves on the x-axis at negative 2, and we make a vertical line, just like that. Okay. Now, the only other review part of the of today's lesson is really looking at a table. Okay, so I wanted you to determine the equation of a line just from a table. So we've got these ordered pairs, and I actually created this table in Desmos. Okay, so the x is your input and the y is your output. So these are just ordered pairs. Okay, and if you looked at these on the graph, there would just be a series of points. Okay. All right, But we want to come up with the equation of the line. All right, so you want to start out and you want to come up with your slope first. You only need 2 points to come up with a slope. It doesn't matter what 2 points you pick. Okay, in this example, I picked 2, 5 and 1, 3. Okay, so with those 2 points, it's just we've got 3 minus 5 divided by 1 minus 2. Okay, and that's how we get our -2 over -1, which is, whoops, that's a -1. We have a positive 2 slope. Okay, and that's right here. So we know our slope is 2. Okay, so some of you might have already identified that the y-intercept is already a point in this table. Okay, that's right here. All right, and that makes your writing the equation really easy. If you can identify the b, in this case, the y-intercept would be 1. If you have your m and you have your b, remember y is equal to mx plus b. You just plug it in. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. Okay? So that would be the equation of the line. But many times the y-intercept is not given, and that only works if your input is 0, because if you did graph that point 0, 1, it would be right here, okay, right on the y-axis. All right, so if it's not given, and we're going to assume it's not, okay, we're going to pick a point. All right, I'm going to pick the ordered pair 3, 7. Doesn't matter which one. I know my slope is 2. So we're going to use point slope form, and this is what we learned last week, okay? Okay, so it's y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x of 1. And I just plug in the values. Y minus 7 is equal to, we said our slope was 2, and then we would get x minus the 3. Okay, distribute it, y minus 7 equals 2x minus 6. And then when we added 7 here, you can see we did it right here to both sides. We end up with the same equation. Y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, so to graph it, we start at the y-intercept of 1, and then our slope is 2. So 2 over 1, it would be our rise over our run. We're going to go up 2 and to the right 1. And there it is. We connect the points, and we add our arrows. Okay, so really that's it for today. Just a quick review. All right, so if you could follow along. If you did miss class today, you might want to go into Desmos. There has been an activity assigned to you to get some extra practice. Okay, and it's called the Equations of Lines activity. Okay, make sure that you also complete the knowledge check that's in Schoology and your homework, which is 23B. All right, test is next class. 23B is actually the study guide. Make sure you compare it to the answer key. All right, bye-bye.